What's up, guys? Welcome back to Watch Chris. I am Chris. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. Today, I'm having a little bit of coffee in a tiny mug. It says Alpina right there on the mug itself, but we're looking at a watch from Longines. This was a watch that caught me by surprise when it was announced, and when I got it in hand for the first time, I knew I had to have one. It is the Hydroconquest GMT. What they've done with the Hydroconquest line is really changed everything about it, even really the aesthetic. If you look at the previous model versus the current, they almost don't look like they're in the same family. Some people might think that's a good thing, some people may not, but it definitely looks more vintage. Today I have two Hydroconquests to show you guys. I have the brown and green dial, the two best colors in my opinion. Anyway, let's flip the camera and take a look at two Hydroconquest GMTs. When Longines released the Spirit GMT, I was very intrigued. A watch with a 72-hour power reserve, automatic movement that was chronometer certified, and of course a traveler GMT, rotating bezel, great bracelet, just an all-around good-looking watch. That was really intriguing. However, when they announced the Hydroconquest, a diving GMT, I found this a little bit more intriguing. Now I know this is not chronometer certified, but I really love a diving GMT, and I think this is a really good-looking watch. So I do have the green version here in my left hand. I have the brown version, for lack of a better term, in my right hand. I really could not decide which one I like better. This brown is more of a burgundy brown. You also have a chapter ring on here, which is a dark tan chapter ring at the bottom, and at the top, it's sort of a dark brown, almost a black. It's a 24-hour track. Same thing on this watch. You get a 24-hour track. It's just light green and dark green. Both of these are sunburst dials. You have the logo at the 12 o'clock, and right above the 6 o'clock, it just says automatic, and then the depth rating, which is 300 meters or 30 bar. Very impressive because this is only 12.7 millimeters thick. So that means you're getting a GMT complication and 300 meters of water resistance under 13 millimeters thick. That is excellent. You do get gold tone hands and indices. The bezels are unidirectional and made out of ceramic. They are glossy. They are patinaed as well. So you get that patina treatment on the indices and hands, and of course the bezels as well. So if you don't like that, obviously you're really not going to like these watches. They made a lot of changes from the previous Hydroconquest. These look a little bit more vintage, I think, less modern, which I obviously like. These are 41 millimeters, so they're just under 41 millimeters at the case. Like I mentioned before, 12.7 millimeters thick, including that 300 meters of water resistance, the sapphire crystal, and the GMT complication, which is excellent. You have a big crown on here, and it's also kind of wide. It is 6.6 millimeters, and then the lug to lug is 49 millimeters. That's including the bracelet. You do have female end links, so you do get solid end links, female end links on this oyster style bracelet. So of course I do love an oyster style bracelet. It tapers really nicely, polishing on the sides. There's a little bit of polish on the inside of each one of the links, on the inner links, and that's really all the polishing that you're getting on this bracelet. You get a beautiful buckle on here. The buckle is gorgeous, and they did a great job with the micro adjust. The micro adjust is really smooth. There's a button that is hidden underneath the clasp, and all you do, press that, and you got about 2 to maybe 4 millimeters of micro adjust. I would say it's around 3.5 millimeters, something like that. And it is really smooth and really easy to use. You also get a little signature right there. That's the logo. It's embossed. Feels really nice. It feels like it's almost applied. Very, very nice. And then of course it's signed Longines right there on the scissor itself, which is just another little touch. The crown also signed with the logo, and the case back is also signed again. It is a solid case back. You do not get to see the L844, which is a shame because it is actually a pretty good looking movement. This is not chronometer certified like the Spirit. However, this does get 300 meters of water resistance, so a little bit different. So really depends on what you want from your watch. This is also cheaper than the Spirit. This is $2,775, while the Spirit is around $3,000 and change. I think it's like $3,200, somewhere in that range. I think eventually they're going to be coming out with a titanium version of the Spirit, which I think will be really cool as well. If you like the Spirit, Exquisite Timepieces also carries the Spirit as well, but they come out with a titanium version of this watch eventually. I think they came out with ceramic versions and titanium versions of the Hydroconquest previously, so I hope these watches get all of that treatment eventually. But in the stainless steel form, these are just classic, good-looking watches. On my wrist today, I have a Formex. I'm actually giving this watch away here on my channel. If you are interested in this watch, I will put a link up above. I am giving this watch away. It's around almost a $2,000 value. This is the red dial. It is gorgeous. A really cool watch, and obviously giving it away here on the channel, so definitely stay tuned. There is the green on my 7.5 inch wrist. Like I said, this is just under 13 millimeters thick. You have a really nice taper to the bracelet, as you can see, and there is the brown on my 7.5 inch wrist. Wow. I really love both of them. I think I could own both of these watches because they look so different on my wrist. That brown is just completely different. It looks a lot more vintage. It's almost like a tobacco, like a dark brown with those gold tones. I'm mesmerized by this dial. It's beautiful. Really, I never thought I would like a brown dial so much. Well, there you go. Really good lume on here. The hands, the indices, everything is lume. The second hand, the GMT hand, I like to see that. So you can see everything is working in the dark. You can see the GMT hand as well. The lume is exactly the same between the two watches. Really no difference between the two at all. I did not do bezel action before, so I'm going to do bezel action now so you could hear the bezel. I'm just going to choose either one of them and I'll let you hear the bezel action right now. Really nice bezel action. Everything lines up on both watches. I'm just very impressed overall with these watches. For the price, $2,775, you're getting a Swiss-made Traveler's GMT with micro adjust on the fly, and it's really good looking from a great brand. I mean, Longines is a great brand. These are great watches. I definitely recommend them. And if you're interested in either color, definitely check out the link in the description to Exquisite Timepieces. Obviously, they lend me watches, and if you end up buying one, tell them Watch Chris sent you. They're an authorized dealer for Longines and a bunch of other brands, Seiko, Grand Seiko, really high-end brands as well. So check out their website. And like I said, if you do end up buying anything, or if you go into their brick and mortar store in Naples, Florida, tell them Watch Chris sent you. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.